Hello all, it's Uncle Destiny here with you, and wanted to go ahead and get the readings done for the month of May. I hope everyone is doing well and that we can continue to move forward in our healing and showing that we can take different choices that are put before us. But there's still a lot of work to do, and there's a lot of change that needs to happen. But keep working forward. And so let's see what the ancestors have to help us with that and move forward. Alrighty, so we have thrown the bones, and we're going to start, in this case, with both our dice and our Adinkra card. And the Adinkra card we have here is the 5 tufts of hair: spirituality or priestly office, loyalty and adoration. Now, what that means is that in the ancient Western Akan areas of West Africa, a priestess of Oshun, a priestess of some of the goddesses, depending on which goddess they wore their hair in tufts that were shaped, that were these 5 tufts of hair. And that was the symbology of their office, of their position. Kind of like now where we see someone wearing a priest collar or a habit. These symbologies within the person's hair represented their position, but also the loyalty and that they held to the faith that they practiced, to their place within the kingdom, and that they were adorned, especially those that were connected to the deities that are associated with love and fertility. Now, why this is important is it also comes up with what we got for the dice. And we are in the 6th house. Now, the 6th house has to do with health, fitness, organization, and acts of service. And one of the aspects of being a priest or priestess, or of that aspect, is the act of service, not just to the deity, but to the society that is around them. And the way that these acts of services were done or even organized around were ways of maintaining the both health and fitness of a society. So, when we look at the bones themselves, we've got a definite array of them. So this one is the work bone, this one is the home bone, and this is the social bone. So, as you notice here, the work bone, and there's kind of spaced out, but the work bone has a multitude of the support bones around it. So we've got a lot of the spinal bones, we've got a lot of the tail and support bones. We've also got the open spinal bone here, which is also lying in between here and the shell. And the shell is turned inward again. So again, this is about internal components. And those internal components are telling us about our work. And our work is going to be, in this next month of May, is going to be seeing a lot of energy coming in, a lot of support coming in for it. And remember that the work bone is not just what we do to pay the bills. It's also what we are here experiencing, expressing, and doing in our lives to fundamentally fulfill that act of service, to fill that office of the priest that we are operating in the world. And we can be operating as priests of a multitude of different things. We can be operating as priests that are bringing about life, change, healing. We can also be priests that are here about bringing about the transitions of life, the lessons of difficulty. Now, just want to say that even though that can be a position, it cannot always be a fun position. It should not also be a position that we take lightly. Because, yes, we are here in some cases to bring life. In some cases, we are here to shepherd the passage of death, the passage of endings. And as much has been talked about in so much that's been going on in the world, we are trying to also bring about change. And that change is bringing about endings of things that are no longer healthy. And that's what we want to be able to look towards. That's good usage of the idea of endings. So there's a lot going on. Now, with that, we also have this bone here, which is almost kind of like the wishing bone. So there's an aspect of our work has got some wishes around it, But equally, we also have the broken rib bone here. And so there is also the sense of strife. Now, it's off to the side, so you can, and that strife is also kind of aligned with our wishes. So it's possible that something that we are wishing for might be the target of something that is trying to destroy it, if it continues along that path. Now, the other aspect is that the path can also route in here into our work, and we want to focus on bringing that energy in. Now, how do we keep that from happening over here, that our wishes be destroyed? Well, that's tied over here into these bones, which we have the other part of the broken rib bone, which is the one that often looks like a crutch or a cane, and this balancing bone here. So this is the aspect of where is the balance coming in? Where is the aspects of our support coming in? And it may be someone who's coming in who is essentially older than us. Now, older than us does not necessarily just mean calendar years. It can also be mental and spiritual olderness. And that can show up at any age, because, I mean, bodies are getting reincarnated. Bodies are getting renewed on the process to continue to bring health, healing, and transition to us in these worlds. This is one of the continued aspect of those whose spirit and some work is to become a priest, to see, as I believe the Buddhist term is a bodhisattva, which is that sense of someone who's come back to deal with the suffering of the world, to help minister to that. This is a sort of role and priestly role that transcends the concept of the mortal realm. So we're looking for their help so that this wish can come through and survive something or someone trying to crush it. And in that place, it allows us to continue with our work, and our work is going to have that, internal component. It's going to be more internalized within ourselves, or internalized within a set structure. And there's also where we get with the organization. So the organizations we are part of, it may be more about what are we doing and what are we connected to in our work within an organization, whether that be the place of employment that pays our bills. It may be any social groups that we are a part of, that we are part of our identity. Those are the places we're in. We're showing our loyalty. We're showing our adoration. We are connecting with the spirit, and we are connecting with that priestly component of it. And in doing so, we are keeping the health and the fitness of the organization. We are serving through the act of service within it, not just our exterior of it. We also then have the copper piece, which, as you can see, is angled here with the support bone, and the fact that its proximity to both the shell and the work bone shows that spirit is very much focused on here of what are you doing for the work. The work is the thing that we're really more focused on, and that's where they're going to put their energy. And there's plenty of support. Again, if you have a couple more of the rib bones here that are juxtaposed and dancing. Even actually, this one almost kind of looks like a person running, dancing, because here's the body, the arm, both the legs. And the fact that there's this energy that is walking in or dancing in, that is moving to this, is important. And there's a freedom that's going to be found by having that. Now, also on top of this, we have the quartz piece, which is sitting in next to these two. And again, this one's about interior. So this is about that interior images that we're looking at. And this aspects too of looking at how we are moving in the world in this place of, are we moving from a place of spirituality? Are we moving from that place of loyalty? Are we moving from that place of adoration that is properly founded? Are we moving from that place of that sense of being the priest? Are we moving from that place of what is healthy, not just for ourselves, but those around us? Are we moving from the place that is good for our fitness and our organization? Are we moving from a place that we recognize what is an actual act of service and what isn't? Now that's what moves us over here into the home and social and family bones, is that there's a lot of, there's again, multitude of the balance bones here. And so one way to look at it is that these are bringing energy into this area to feed these areas. Okay, so that's about what we're getting from the spirits today as we move forward. So how are you operating and showing in a way your priestly duties to shepherd and move the world through, and those that are in need of it? Because one priest can also be another support to a different priest in a different area. And how are we operating fundamentally from a place of health, fitness, organization, and act of service? Ashe.